Good evening, friends. Can I hear good evening? Salam Bersih.
Bersih.
Can I have all of you hold up your yellow palm? Or even some of you have your yellow bowls on the table. Can you hold up your yellow bowls? Those who have yellow drinks, can you hold up your yellow drinks?
Yellow underwear.
Okay, thank you very much, because we are now in a generation post 709, post Bersih, and this is like no other time in Malaysia, because we are here together as Malays, as Chinese, as Indians, as Malaysians, and there has never been a more significant and meaningful One Malaysia concept as there is today after Bersih. We saw, clap lah. If those of you who joined the Bersih demonstration, you would have seen that Malay, Chinese, Indians were all walking hand in hand. The only enemy for that day that we had were the police. And the police, while they were attacking us, we found that there were many Malays helping Chinese, Chinese helping Indians, Indians helping Malay. Nobody cared about skin color. We only cared about justice. We only cared about a free and fair elections. We only cared about what is right for the future of Malaysians. Clap. Now with that, I would like to welcome together with me at this dinner, and especially thank YB Elizabeth Wong for giving me some time to actually tell you a very interesting story. Do you like stories? Do you like interesting scandals? Okay, so you're going to be in for a good time, and I'd like particularly to mention comrades here from Pakatan Rakyat and elected representatives. William Leong, Si Chi Hao, Siva Rasa was here for a while, I don't know where he is. But it's because of them that we have had such loud voices speaking for human rights within the state governments of Penang, Selangor, Kelantan, Kedah, and previously Perak. And because of them, we have had such a vibrant parliament who are actually asking questions about the most interesting scandals that have hit the country in the past. Now, give them a round of applause, please. Thank you. Now, I'm going to tell you something very specific, and I think you may know, because many of you read Malaysia Kini, many of you read Malaysian Insider, and so on. So you know something. Do you know that Malaysia has purchased 2 submarines? Yes, okay, so this is what the story is about. Do you know that 114.9 million euro was paid to a company called Mecca for support and coordination services? You know that? Do you know who is Mecca? Do you know that one of the shareholders is Abdul Razak Baginda's wife? Do you know who is Abdul Razak Baginda? We all know, because he was the one who was charged in court for the murder of? I can't hear. Yes, he was the one who was charged in court for the murder of Al-Tantuya. And so what was his wife doing, being a director of a company who was receiving 114.9 million euro? How does that convert to in ringgit? 540 million ringgit of your money. And mine also lah. We are all Malaysian taxpayers, right? So it is our money that was actually paid as part of the coordination services to buy 2 submarines. And you heard from the MC just now, one of the submarines cannot sink. When it came to our waters, they found that it couldn't dive. Now, is a submarine supposed to float or sink? Sink. So what's happening? Are we buying things which are substandard? And over above everything else, we find that in the last parliamentary sitting, the government of today had actually asked for Parliament to approve an additional 417 million. For what? Because in the original amounts that were given, the Malaysian government did not include maintenance of the submarine. How many of us have signed contracts for purchase of different things? All of us, right? Yeah. We have all signed contracts. And we know that when we sign contract, we need to see the product that we buy from start to the end. Most of all, that it can be used. And in this case, when they sign a contract, which eventually ballooned, the initial figures here in the very, very beginning was 969.15 million euro. Okay? And right now, the cost has actually ballooned to 7.3 billion ringgit. Okay? Now that is because every time our good MPs here ask questions in Parliament, they will say, oh, because itu belum negotiate lagi. Sebab itu, masa tu kita belum sign contract lagi. So it was just an estimate figure dan sebagainya. So the cost now before us, my friends, has ballooned to 7.3 billion ringgit. It does not include maintenance. And guess what? The missiles, the bullets that you need for the submarine to take care of our territories and our waters are also not yet purchased. So we have submarines without bullets, without missiles. And when do you think the missiles are going to come to our shores? According to the formal answers in 2013. Now, what's going to happen if we get attacked between now? Now is what year? 2011. Missiles only come 2013. So what's going to happen to Malaysia if we really get attacked and our territorial waters get attacked? What's going to happen? We have submarines, first of all, that cannot dive, that cannot sink. Second of all, we have submarines with no missiles. Does that make sense? No. So, we have a lot to do here as ordinary citizens. Now, I am not a member of any political party. I am a member of a civil society organization called Suara. And what we have done, because we have seen so many irregularities just with the purchase of 2 submarines. Now, you know our government is buying so many more defense equipment and purchasing so many more arms. But just for 2 submarines, we cannot get clear answers even from the most august house, which is the parliament. They do not give us clear answers. Now, we do not even know why Abdul Razak Baginda was acquitted of murder. But we found 2 other people who were actually aides of the current Prime Minister and his wife who were charged for murder. But the question of motive of why Altan Tuya got killed and why they killed her was actually never really told to us Malaysians. Now, we know that the beautiful Altan Tuya is actually linked to the purchase of these 2 submarines. And we also know that the company involved in France, which is called DCNS, has also been selling ships, armory, and submarines to countries like Pakistan, countries like Taiwan, India, and so on. Many other third world countries. And the scary part is, in many of these cases, we also had people who were blown to bits. So it's not just one Altantuya who died. In Pakistan, there were 12 French engineers who were killed in a bomb blast because there was a lot of money and corruption going around in the sale and purchase of the submarines.